When I came to Wheeler in 1980, one of the things I felt was important was that we establish a program for kids to start into wrestling before they got to high school. So we started one of the first junior programs, as they were called, across the street at East Cobb Middle. And Keith and the Strader boys and the Demerit boys were in the 7th and 8th grade in that year, and they were a part of that group. So who would have known that just 5 years later they would be 2- and 3-time state champions. But that was an integral part of the success of our program. Keith came in the next year as a freshman, started on the varsity. He's a 4-year letterman, team captain by the time of his senior year. Had over his last 2 years as a junior and senior, 53-1 record, winning back-to-back state championships. One of the things I remember about Keith as a wrestler on the mat is that he was dominant and he was devastating. That was his style of wrestling. He was in one of the lightweights, 112 pounds his senior year, but he, pound for pound, he was as tough as any wrestler on the team. And he had a style of wrestling that he didn't purposefully try to hurt you, but that was the result in many cases where he would just come off the mat, and the other kid was happy to get off the mat just as quick as he could. But Keith was truly an accomplished wrestler. After finishing high school, he had some Division I offers to wrestle at Clemson, UTC, Nebraska, but chose to stay here locally and go to college downtown at Georgia State, earning his Bachelor of Business Administration and Marketing, and then a couple years later earning his Masters in Business Administration at Kennesaw State. Worked for IBM for a number of years, and then went into started his own business, his own company, remodeling the homes, and currently has a very successful practice doing that today. He stayed active in the sport, starting a wrestling program at North Cobb Christian School, got his boys involved, married his middle school sweetheart, Karen, who was one of our most loyal wrestling supporters back at Wheeler in those days, and they have 2 great kids. And what makes the sport of wrestling great is that no matter how bad you're losing, you always have a chance to win because of the pin factor. If you can pin your opponent in 2 seconds, then the match is yours. So that's the hope of wrestling, but it's also the drawback is that you got to wrestle the entire time or you can find yourself losing. And Keith just got caught in a move, and as can happen sometimes, and got pinned, but that loss motivated him to turn it up a notch and to another level, and went on and ended up beating that kid in the state semifinals of the tournament 11-2. And those 2 points he got, Keith let him have when he let him go so he could take him down again. So I want to introduce to you 1985 state champion, 1984 state champion, and Wheeler Hall of Fame inductee Keith Masters.
Thanks, Coach. So the Lord has given me great talents, and I've always tried to use those to glorify Him, so I want to thank the Lord. The other man in my life, obviously my father, who just showed me a work ethic to work hard. And Coach Pritz always said in the wrestling room, that's where everything was won in the wrestling room. That's where the work was put in. But he always said champions were willing to do what others won't. And he knew each one of us had a rival, and he'd go around while we were wrestling, and he'd say, I wonder what he's doing across town. I wonder what he's doing across town. Are you working as hard as he is? And so I got that work ethic from my dad. Next, Coach Pritz. I don't even know what to say about Coach. There's coaches in life that are loved, but Coach Pritz is beloved. And when I was looking at the list of Hall of Fame coaches, that's really what this is about. The athletes are one thing. This is really about coaches. The Hall of Fame is about what coaches sacrifice and put into the lives of their athletes. And when I look at this motley crew right here, I can only imagine where they'd be without Coach Pritz. But what he did and provided for us is, when I'm around him now, I'm 13, always. When I'm in his presence, I'm 13 years old, because that's the respect that I have for him. But what he did was shown a bunch of young guys. I mean, look at Hugh Meek, right? Hugh, am I right? He showed us what a good Christian man is supposed to look like. He showed us what a man who cared about his athletes is supposed to look like. He married a woman that I mean, even before they had children, when they would be at the meets, we looked at Coach and his wife, Miss Pritch Jenny, and they showed us what a Christian marriage is supposed to look like. I just want to say what an unbelievable privilege it was for us to be able to wrestle for him and to call him coach and to call him friend, and the example that he set for many of us. I modeled my family after his family. I'm honored to be joining my teammates, Jeff Vasquez and Hugh Meek, in the hall. I'm honored to have my team join me. Honored for some of my classmates, Karen Chandler and Freddie Cook. Freddie Cook went in. Freddie's just finished radiation, battling cancer, I think, for the 3rd time. Pray for Freddie. But anyway, I just want to keep this brief. Thank you for even 30-something years later, even remembering the wrestling team and remembering me. It was an honor, so thank you all for coming. By the way, I own a construction company, so I know when people have that look on their face where they want to take a nail gun and pop it in their face, and most of you have that look, so I just want to say thank you for coming.